Welcome to the Highland County real estate market in August 2026, where we are currently operating in a state of complete gridlock. The baseline for the standoff sits squarely at the current median home price of $250,000. Looking at this market gauge, the needle firmly favors sellers, driven almost entirely by a lack of active inventory. We are looking at just 143 active listings across the entire county, with exactly 40 homes sold over the last 30 days. That level of scarcity forces everyone into a tight corner. Whether you are looking to buy or sell, traditional timing strategies are failing, leaving both sides locked in a high-stakes standoff. On one side, we have the hesitant buyer. They are closely watching interest rates, pausing their search, and hoping a rate drop will finally make their monthly payments more affordable. On the other side sits the opportunistic seller. They know they hold the cards in a seller's market, but they face the very real risk of overestimating their leverage and getting greedy with their asking price. These two opposing mindsets are colliding directly within the exact same local zip codes, dragging the market in two entirely different directions. To navigate this, we need to look at exactly how the current data dictates your negotiating power, regardless of which side of the transaction you're on. Making a move right now without understanding the specific motivations of the person across the closing table is a quick way to leave money on the table. Let's start with the supply side. This chart illustrates the new inventory entering Highland County over the past 30 days, totaling exactly 43 new listings. Now look at the second bar. In that exact same 30-day window, exactly 43 homes moved to pending status. We are operating in a strict one-to-one inventory replacement cycle. For every single home that gets listed, one is immediately absorbed by a buyer. Mathematically, this means absolutely zero new supply is accumulating in the county. This failure to build up a backlog of housing maintains severe scarcity across all local neighborhoods. Because buyers have so few alternatives to choose from, that scarcity keeps negotiating power firmly anchored on the seller side of the table. This mathematical gridlock proves the market is not going to naturally ease up. Buyers and sellers have to force their own advantages rather than waiting for macro conditions to save them. Right now, the most common strategy for buyers is to completely pause their search and wait for interest rates to come down. This flowchart maps out the immediate consequence. If rates drop, a flood of sidelined buyers re-enters the market simultaneously. As the chart shows, that surge in demand for limited inventory triggers aggressive bidding wars, pushing the final purchase price much higher. The practical alternative to this trap is buying now at current rates, a strategy often called dating the rate and marrying the house. By purchasing now, you secure the property at today's $250,000 median price, without having to fight through artificially inflated competition. The immediate trade-off is clear. You have to be financially comfortable absorbing a higher initial monthly mortgage payment. This approach relies heavily on the probability that you can refinance the mortgage down the road when macroeconomic rates eventually improve. Waiting for rates might save you some temporary pain on borrowing costs, but you trade that for the permanent disadvantage of a higher total purchase price and fierce competition. Sellers currently hold a massive advantage, a captive audience of highly motivated buyers who have very few properties to choose from. The primary risk for sellers in this environment is getting overly ambitious and pricing the home beyond what the data actually supports. This quadrant chart maps price against preparation. If you look at the bottom right, homes that are overpriced, even if they are prepped well, see flat, stagnant activity. Desperate buyers are sensitive to current rates and will ignore a listing that stretches their budget too far. The optimal strategy is up here in the top right. Using accurate pricing closely aligned with the $250,000 median generates rapid, immediate activity. The trade-off of listing right now is that you surrender the option of waiting to see if home values climb even higher into 2027. This requires an upfront reality check on your home's actual value. You cannot treat today's market like a testing ground with inflated numbers. Securing a captive audience requires precise pricing. Low inventory is not a license to overcharge without facing immediate market rejection. Highland County's entrenched replacement rate simply does not reward hesitation for either side of the transaction. This comparison table breaks down who should act now. The ideal buyer in this market has stable income and prioritizes securing a specific property over optimizing their initial monthly interest payment. If you are already maxed out on your debt-to-income ratio and cannot survive current rates without assuming a quick refinance will save you, you should hold off. On the seller side, the ideal profile to act now is an owner who is prepared to properly stage and accurately price their home to trigger immediate buyer action. Sellers who are unwilling to do the necessary prep work or who blindly expect buyers to overpay just because inventory is low are better off holding. Success in this market is dictated entirely by your personal financial readiness and timeline flexibility, not by attempting to outsmart macroeconomic interest rates. The tight standoff between buyers and sellers in Highland County will continue indefinitely as long as inventory remains perfectly constrained. The smartest move you can make is basing housing decisions on your own internal financial stability, rather than trying to time external market shifts. Whether you are looking to buy in or cash out, stepping into the August 2026 market requires decisive, data-backed action over hopeful hesitation.